You know who else fucked their coach? Giselle. She fucked that karate man. No? What? I mean, Jesus Christ, Tom. One of the smartest quarterbacks ever played a game. How did you not see this coming? 8 fucking karate classes a day. 8 karate classes. A day. And she's still a white belt. The only thing...
Okay, so really quick, I want to like share my thoughts because I trained Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for 14 years. So one of the things that I would advise to all the people out there, like, you know, Kevin Hart does have some truth to it, right? I'm not really 100% sure, like, obviously, like, the real relationship with Tom Brady and his wife, right? But to let another man train your wife and, like, do, like, private one-on-one classes is probably the biggest red flag that you can ever do. It doesn't matter if it's jiu-jitsu. It can be any sport, okay? This is the dumbest thing that any man can do because... especially in jiu-jitsu, like, I've been in this field for so long, like, I know what it's like, you know. Jiu-jitsu is the most contact sport of all. Like, out of all the sports, you have to, like, wrestle with them, you have to, like, you know, place your hands in certain places and, you know, use your body and stuff like that. That's why I personally don't like to train with girls, right? I only train with men. And just imagine if you're a married guy or you have, like, a girlfriend and you're like, yeah, oh, are you getting privates from this guy? Like, she wasn't going to classes. If you see from the videos, it was a one-on-one session with the guy. So I personally think that's fucking terrible to do. Like, I don't know what he was thinking. So one way to prevent from getting, like, cheated on like this is to not let your woman do this. There's plenty of other female instructors that can easily give her private classes, right? The equivalent to this is, like, for example, let's say that you're married and, like, you guys want to, like, hire, and you guys have, like, a kid and you guys have, like, a babysitter, right? And the babysitter that you choose this, like, super young, you know, hot babysitter that's, like, always coming over to your house to take care of her while your wife is, like, going and working out, doing her Pilates or hanging out with her friends. And, like, let's say that you work from home or something, and then she's always coming and you're always having that conversation with her. You guys are getting closer. There's something like going on, right? This happens all the time with guys, like with, you know, having like a nanny or a babysitter or something like that, right? It's like retarded for like women to do that, right? They should hire someone who's like heavier, a little bit more chubby, or someone who's like a lot older that's like not attractive, right? That's like the dumbest thing you can do. So it's the same exact thing for, you know, if you're a man and you have a woman and you're like, yeah, just go there with some guy. I hope you have fun. There was times where I knew, like, people who, you know, because there's like status, right? Like Tom Brady has, like, he's like the GOAT, right? He has like the most amount of status, right? But there's also niche status too. Niche status is like if you're like an expert in your field, right? So, like, for example, jiu-jitsu black belts is, you have niche status, right? So, like, you know, the white belt girls, blue belt girls, they usually have crush more on the higher belt guys, like brown and black belts, right? Who are like the guys, right? Who are like the best, who have that niche status, right? So for you to just bring your girlfriend, your wife, and just be like, oh, just go and have fun, that's the worst decision you can make. So Tom Brady, that's right there. We can all learn from his mistakes, right? Sometimes people say it's good to learn from your mistakes, but I think it's better to learn from other people's mistakes. This was a clear mistake that he did. Maybe he didn't really care, right? There's a lot of things that perhaps maybe he didn't like care about her. Maybe, I know there's theories of like him being gay. Maybe he didn't give a shit, right? But I know that any guy who's like protective about his woman is not gonna let this shit happen. I promise you, okay? I promise you. If they do, they're fucking retarded, okay? And, like, same thing with your woman. Okay, so let's continue, all right?
The only thing dumber than you saying yes to this roast was when you said, hey, babe, you should try jiu-jitsu. I think that was, oh my God, just knowing your ex-wife's new boyfriend can beat your ass while eating hers.
Give it up for the Lord.
Man. Oh, my God. I think Mickey was one of the best ones. In my opinion, I think she won. I think it was her and this guy here who were the funniest ones that roasted Tom. I mean, like, you know, no one can roast him about his, like, accomplishments in the game of football, right? Like, in the game of football, man, he is absolutely the greatest of all time. He is the best quarterback. He showed it that he went from 6th round or something like that, right? And he went from, like, being, like, nobody believing in him to him being the greatest of all time. And he shows, if anything, it should motivate you. It motivates me to, like, knowing that, like, it doesn't matter, like, people don't believe you. It's all a matter of, like, if you believe in yourself, right? You always take the good of, like like all the people, all the greatest in different sports, and add it into your game, right? That's what I've always done, right? How can I add into my jiu-jitsu, right? He's definitely one of the best, 100%, right? He's won as many Super Bowls, but it shows you that even a guy who has the whole world in the palm of his hands, 7 Super Bowl rings, if he doesn't understand how to keep a woman, how to communicate with a woman, right, he's still going to lose her. He's still going to lose attraction. He's still going to get her to divorce him, right? Because why? Courtship never ends, okay? Just because you got married to your woman or you're in a long-term relationship with your girlfriend, the moment that you think, oh, I shouldn't do anything anymore, I shouldn't romance, I don't give a shit anymore. The moment you stop with the courtship is the moment that the relationship is going to start to decline. Okay, like I said, I don't know Tom Brady personally, but I'm willing to bet if we had a conversation, we had a consultation call, and I was able to like go into like, okay, what happened? Where was your relationship? Where was it? Right here at the peak? When did it start to go down? Why did it go down? He basically proves it that you can be the best at something, most famous person of all, and still lose your woman, right? And, this is why it's important to continue to do the emotional work. One of the things that I would recommend anybody, like one thing I recommend Tom Brady that he should have done, when he said that he wanted to retire, and maybe he was still like iffy about it, instead of saying he's going to retire and then lying, he should have just been more direct and told Giselle, hey, you know what? I don't really know. Let me get back to you. But once I retire, I'm going to retire, okay? And then once he makes that decision, like, hey, okay, I'm not going to retire, then he's going to tell her, like, hey, I'm not going to retire. You got to give me like 2 more years. And from there, that's it, I'll quit and, I'll be more of a family guy. He should have had that conversation rather than him like, saying one thing but not really like, not like later down the road, he's like, oh no, I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. And then she's like fed up with it. She already checked out at that point. She's like, I'm done. I'm already getting jiu-jitsu lessons from this one guy. We're already building a good connection. There's like sparks going because of the touching and feeling and all this stuff, right? And my husband's not home. And like probably the communication is not good anymore. Like, of course, any woman's going to go somewhere else, looking for someone else who desires them, because maybe Tom Brady doesn't desire her anymore at that point. Maybe, who knows, right? There's a lot of different things, right? But, that's one of the things that he should have done, is he should have been direct, stopped pussyfooting around, and basically told her his inner world, and him still knowing about her inner world, still knowing like what's going on with her and how she's feeling and everything like that, to continue the relationship, because he technically only played for 1 more year and then he was done, right? So let's continue.
Super Bowl rings, my friend Tom Brady. A man who has so many rings he could melt them down and forge a sword to go on a quest to get Giselle back from that jiu-jitsu teacher.
Oh my God. I thought this one was like the funniest joke. Oh my God. But, even though he got roasted, Tom Brady was a good sport, man. I don't know how people can do that, just getting roasted without, just getting freaking angry, Will Smith, pull Will Smith. At least he didn't do that. There's one thing though that got me confused. He did pull a Will Smith on this guy, actually, Jeff Ross, and when he mentioned like that Robert Kraft was, he went to his office like when he first started, and then like he told him, I'm going to be the best decision you'll ever like make in your organization, right? And everybody was like, oh yeah. And then he's like, and then do you want a massage? That's what he said after. And then he came and he's like, hey, don't say that shit again. So out of all the things that he said, like, they're roasting him about his wife and like divorce, and that guy just, the jiu-jitsu dude, getting in a relationship with her, all these things, that they roasted him on. The one thing he got mad was about him giving the massage to the Patriots owner. I think his name is Robert Kraft, right? So that kind of got me confused. A lot of people were like, he cares more about him than his wife. I think of it more like maybe he got more offended at that gay joke because maybe there is an underlying thing about that. That's really, that's how he feels. That's what he felt the most, right? That was the strongest feeling that he associated that got him angry. None of the other stuff. Yeah, it looked like from his facial expressions that he was like upset and stuff. But he never went to any of the guys and was like, and like got up and was like, hey, don't say that shit again. So that got me confused, right? And for me, he's saying, hey, like, I got offended at this gay joke a lot. Like, you know, there's something going on. That's kind of what I'm thinking, right? So that's kind of like my speculation, but who knows, right? Share your thoughts. Tell me what you think. I'm making videos like this all the time because, like, you know, I do believe that even though this happened to him, I believe that we can all learn lessons from this, right? We can all learn lessons from other people and apply it into our life, in our relationships, in our dating life, right? These are common things that we should not do. We should never let your fucking wife, your girlfriend, be friends with another dude. That doesn't work. It will never work. I don't care what anyone says. It will never freaking work. And vice versa. You being friends with some girl that's attractive and you guys are hanging out, etc., etc. There's never going to be something good that comes out of that. You can make plenty of friends in your same sex, right? Of course. If you're a single person, who cares? You can make friends with men and women. But when you're in a one-on-one exclusive relationship, that just doesn't work like that anymore. The people are just acquaintances at that point, right? So it's important to understand this. Another thing too that I feel like every person should have in the relationship is putting God first. Putting God in the relationship. Because without God, and we're living in a secular world, there's like no morals. There's no right, there's no wrong. Sure, is there healthy boundaries? Is there proper communication that you got to tell your person, hey, you know, I want this to happen, and you know, this is how I see our relationship. If like a guy hits on you, and a woman hits on me, But at the same time, you got to put God first, because that is the most important thing. And when you guys put God first, then you guys are, you know, both getting to the next level of having a better relationship and having a marriage that lasts forever. Okay. Some people might not agree with me, but that's just how I feel. I feel like, you know, having God in my relationship with my wife, it's a superpower, and it's also the most important thing, right? You know, the world's so fucked up, you know, and like, that's the truth. That's my belief, right? John 14:6, Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one can come to the Father except through me. No one can come to God except through Jesus, through believing that he died for our sins, right? I know that I'm getting religious, but that's just my thoughts. That's my feeling. That's what I believe. And like, you know, I believe that like there's this woman named Nancy Pearcey. She wrote the book The War on Toxic Masculinity. She talks about how the people who are actually Christians that actually follow God's like commandments and like go to church and like actively, praising God and put God first in the relationship, they have the least amount of divorce. So it's important, I feel like, you know, with divorce going like fucking crazy nowadays, especially like in like Hollywood or all these things, none of them have God. None of them have God. None of them put God first. That's my belief. You have to have all these right things, right? There's obviously so many things, but you got to put God first, man. I don't believe Tom Brady or Giselle put God first at all. You know, if anything, they're just like spiritual, right? Spiritual. Ooh. Like that's not going to work, man. But you know, Tom could have not let this happen if he would have followed these 3 things that I'm telling you right now. But anyways, I'm making YouTube videos every single week. So if you like this video, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.